Welcome back to the good,
the bad,
and
the
Kino. We've
Smooth
gotten
as
very good at
hell.
that since we've come back. Welcome back to the podcast this week. I'm feeling lots of energy between Moses and I at the minute, so it's
We're
going to
talking
be
about chemistry
it's
or
going to be
vibes.
Oh, it is a vibe. That's right, because this week we are talking about
Inside Llewyn Davis. No, okay, I was wrong last week.
Yes.
I was very tired. I had 4 hours of sleep. Ryan, you were right.
Oh,
you were
election.
right. Yeah. Also, Joe Biden won the election.
Yeah.
Woo.
a little more enthusiasm. I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like that's a great thing.
Yeah.
Because last time we were on, we
He's
talked
a
about the
moderate.
political
Woo.
film. Yeah.
Also, we just totally peaked the mics, probably.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to scream into the mics, but
No, please don't.
But yes, so this week we're talking about Inside Llewyn Davis.
I tripped you up now.
Now I'm tripped up. This week we are talking about Inside Llewyn Davis, which is a film directed and written by the Coen brothers, starring Oscar. Why was I going to say Oscar Wilde?
Yes, they dug him up from his grave.
I'm actually blanking on his last name right now.
Isaac.
Oscar Isaac. Thank you.
What
I
do we
know.
love about him?
His butt.
He has a great butt.
His big gooch butt.
Oh, nice pussy.
Yeah. Oh. Yes, please. But anyways, we are very excited to. At least I'm very excited to talk about this. This is going to be one of those where I'm sure we'll have a few tangents because there's not a lot of nitty gritty, but for me it's just I just want to talk about all the great bits of the film. But what do you think?
Introduce ourselves if they haven't heard us before.
Yes. So if you're new, I'm Ryan,
I'm Moses.
and we are both film students at a university in London. I don't think we should disclose where.
We don't have to.
Yeah.
Jolly old London.
Yeah, we love London. It's that time of Christmassy year.
I
Go on, do
haven't
it.
been able to actually go into London
Yeah.
since being back. I haven't gone to the center once.
I don't anymore.
We should
But
bike
yeah.
one time.
I'd love to do that. I've heard
Right.
biking around London's so nice.
Get a Santander. Just,
Yeah.
$2 a day.
I'm always nervous because you and I both grew up in Amsterdam, so I was the level of road and bike safety there is
Yeah.
so impeccable, and it's not anything
Apple
close
Maps
here.
just released a new update for London and I don't know if it's for the whole of UK, but basically now they show cycling routes in Apple Maps.
Oh, cool.
And they very much specify
Where it's safe to go.
Where it's safe to go.
Nice. Okay. I'd be down to do that then.
yeah.
Ooh. I had a very bad voice crack
I
there.
didn't hear that.
Okay. yeah, you'll catch that on the re-listen, but yes. So that's who we are, and I guess we also provide a little bit of background about ourselves there as well.
When I was 13.
Yeah. So actually, I've lived in all these places. Let's go, international students.
So yes, we want to talk about Inside Llewyn Davis.
Yeah, which clearly I love. Moses, what are your more expressive thoughts?
I really like it. I
Yeah.
think it's a great movie.
Yeah.
I don't love it as much as you do.
Yeah, I don't think anyone does.
No. When I was all my all the people I follow on Letterboxd,
Love it.
most of them gave it
Okay.
a 5-star.
Okay.
It's like a 4.5, 4.5.
Yeah.
4.5, 4 for me.
Because most people I show to, I showed it to my flatmates the other night, and it was a similar reaction that you've had, which is it is very, very, very good. But there's just something about it for me where it's just I love this movie. And it's so rewatchable.
It's a very rewatchable
Yeah.
movie. It's the second time I've seen it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this, but it was one of the first movies I logged in Letterboxd 2 years ago when I watched it for the first time.
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
Did you remember most of it? I forgot a lot of it.
I forgot about the ending.
I remember the
Actually,
ending.
no, I forgot.
John Goodman
also,
stuff. I forgot all about.
No, I remember John Goodman stuff. Spoilers, of course, by the way.
Yeah.
But the ending, I remember, of course, Bobby D showing up to sing an old farewell song, a little lullaby to close the movie.
Yeah.
But I forgot that, like Eternal Sunshine, the beginning is actually the end.
Whoa.
Mind blown. I was like, what?
However,
It's I can't believe he's getting beat up again.
that is my one fault with the film.
Why?
Because to me, that trick in this serves no real purpose.
No, I would disagree with that.
Oh, really?
It's a constant struggle. It's an everyday thing. This always happens.
So it's just the loop.
Yeah, it's just a loop.
Yeah.
Like Eternal Sunshine, it's just a loop.
Yeah, that is true.
But there's not that much other meaning I don't think you can pull from.
No.
An ending, a repetition of the beginning and the ending.
Yeah, I found that the ending said that already, and you didn't really need to have it
No,
at the beginning. as a coda.
I do really like the ending of this.
Yeah, a lot of people. I found that surprisingly, my flatmates like the ending, but a lot of people don't like the ending because it's a classic Coen Brothers ending of it just ends.
Yeah. No, I forgot how it ended.
Yeah.
And that's I thought it. I
I
remembered
loved
it
it.
ending closer to when he sees what's his face.
Oh,
Amadeus.
F. Murray Abraham.
Yeah.
Amadeus, nice.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that actually.
Yeah,
So F.
that's a
Murray
great
Abraham's in this. I thought it ended like right after that. There's a chunk of the movie.
That
left.
also would. I mean, that would have also been a good ending point. But like,
Such a good scene.
it's a great. Scene.
Oscar Isaac, little butt singing his heart out.
The music in this is
So good.
So good.
I wish more of it was on music streaming services. On Apple Music, there's only 3 songs.
Is it not on Spotify?
Oh,
Is
I'm
the
sure it's on
soundtrack
Spotify, but only 3 songs are.
Actually, I don't know why I didn't do this, but I'm actually gonna favorite that album now, so I listen to it later
Yeah,
because
no,
I love that.
When
music.
I was walking over to see you, so you could walk over here,
It's so good.
I was listening to it, and I felt like I was inside the movie, strolling through New York City.
It is so good.
Just strolling.
Yeah, and I think what you said there, just it's just a vibe.
It is
the film's a vibe,
It's a nice vibe.
and something you actually said on the way here, which I'm interested to talk about now because maybe you do have a problem with it, is the way it's shot.
Okay.
Cinematography.
I think it's very interesting. So, it kind of looks like a 2013 Instagram filter. Kind of.
I don't like that. I can kind of see that.
But like, you see
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah, a little bit.
And so I've always
It's a
had
little
that-
overexposed in certain scenes.
No, and the lighting is so like the
Lighting's
skin.
so good.
Uh,
90% of the time, I think there are in places where it's overexposed.
yeah, it's got this like real shiny look to it, and the skin tone is very gray, and it's like a green gray skin tone almost.
Yeah.
Very unnatural. It's trying to replicate like a photograph from the '60s.
Oh, really?
So,
Oh.
no, that's kind of what it felt to me.
Oh, see, I thought the cinematography was like everything was gray and dull because it was like that's the
also,
ennui
also,
of his life.
also, yes.
You know.
But like, it feels it feels like the album
does.
cover of an old album,
Yeah.
folk album.
I like that.
It feels
I
like a
didn't think
Bob
about that.
Dylan folk cover,
Yeah.
even though I can't pinpoint a specific one that resembles that. But that's what the feeling it gives off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I agree.
the light is so like wildly diffused and like glowy.
I think there are times where like when any indoor shots I think are beautiful.
To me, I think it's just
But
a little
outdoor
bit.
sometimes it struggles.
It's a little bit too desaturated.
Yeah. Again, to me that's the distinction of when it's indoor at the say like the Gaslight Cafe or in people's apartments or studios or with the scene with F. Murray Abraham. I don't think you get that as much, but like when
When they're outside in a park talking
Yeah.
about why he needs
Yeah.
to wear 4 condoms
that
or whatever.
yeah that is a scene that I think of as being like way overexposed.
Yeah, and also this movie, by the way, has a very good trailer.
It has a very good trailer.
I like the trailer for this movie a lot.
The trailer's very good. I kind of there's actually surprisingly quite a bit to talk about with this film
There is.
because when I
For how much of a vibe it is.
yeah because when I remember this film I definitely think of like the music and like certain scenes, but there's like plot strands and plot threads that I've completely forgotten about. Like, excuse me, something I picked up on this time that I thought was really rich this time around was the whole like subplot of the fact that one of his like ex-girlfriends kept a kid.
Oh, yeah. I
And then
forgot
like
about that,
and then
too.
like when he's driving home, he sees the city where she lives in Akron, Ohio.
Yep.
Ohio. And
Oh, you're an Ohio boy.
yeah,
Also, wait.
my mom's side of the family's from there.
Ohio, Akron. So,
Yeah.
Is that in any other? I know that name from like.
Yeah, it's in like they toss it around in like tons of old sitcoms and whatnot. Like
It feels like a sitcom name. Like
they've definitely mentioned it in Seinfeld. Like in Seinfeld, I
Okay.
remember like there are certain episodes where they talk about Akron or Dayton, which are cities in Ohio.
Dayton is also a place in Utah.
Is it?
Yeah, there's a Dayton, Utah.
Dayton's all around. But
Wait, I'm gonna look it up.
yeah, what should I? Because I'm Jamie. Should I?
Yeah, pull up Dayton, Utah.
I got it.
Is it Clayton? I can't remember.
Dayton, Utah. No. I got Margaret Dayton is an American politician
Wait,
from Utah.
are we writing Dayton the same way? This is a
Dayton, right? See, I'll try Dayton, Ohio. Yeah, I spelled it right for Dayton, Ohio. Someone I went to high school with is actually from Dayton, Ohio. Very nice girl. Funnily enough.
There is-
Small world. Small world.
There's
Yes.
a Clayton.
Clayton.
That's what I was thinking. Of.
Close enough.
Close. Dayton, Clayton.
Dayton. It rhymes.
There's funny names.
Therefore the same. But yeah, so when Llewyn Davis is
I'm so embarrassed.
oh my god, I can never podcast again.
I'm done. I'm done after
I
this.
quit.
I'm storming out. I could never be wrong.
Oh, well. All right, Llewyn. Yeah. Yes, I like bringing that up. But
You got
anyways, when he drives by Akron and he sees that, and it's like the choice to let it go is like, to me, that is the scene that clues me into the kind of character he is, which is like he could succeed, but he's actually making the active choice not to. It's like from my reading of the film this time around, it's less that the world's out to get him. It's the fact that he is so unwilling to like compromise on anything that like he basically brings it upon himself and he embitters himself. Because like there are times where like when like he has a fight or argument with other people and he's in the wrong.
Oh no,
he's in the wrong like a lot of the time.
Llewyn Davis is an absolute asshole.
Yeah, when he freaks out at his two professor friends.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucked up. But anyways, I just thought that was interesting this time around. I'd kind of forgotten about that, and when I originally seen it, I was just like, well, just kind of a throwaway kind of thing. But this time around, I thought it really did. I thought it really added to who he was, and what the Coen brothers were trying to say about his character. So, another, that's why I think that this film's really rewatchable, is because like you just pick up on so many other things as you rewatch.
So I agree with what you've said so far, and I do love the little Akron bit, but I want to talk about like what the movie is actually about, other than a sad boy artist.
Yeah.
What do you think
interesting.
it is?
Oh, see, I think the film is very much about. I think it's just purely about him, and I see it as purely
I think
about.
There's a little bit more.
Really interesting,
and it ties into
Lay
the
it on
cat,
me.
which we'll talk about later.
Yes,
but I thought about this recently. I was thinking about this last night when I was watching this.
Oh, you think it's a myth, like a retelling of the myth?
There's also that.
Yeah.
No, that's not it. But that's a huge element of this. But I think it's about the Coen brothers.
Interesting.
Because
Why?
It's about how they would not be able to properly have careers without each other, because it's about the sad artist who worked with someone all this time and lost him, and the whole movie is about the effect of the loss of his
friend,
his songwriting partner, and that has on his career and himself. And it's weird that is coming from two directors who were duo directors. They're the Coen brothers.
That's so interesting.
That's
sick. That's a great reading. I love that.
There has to be an element to that.
Yeah, I can 100%
It
buy
can't just
into
be a
that.
coincidence, I feel. Because that's a huge coincidence.
I'm not gonna lie. When you were like, "There's something else," I'm like, "Is there like some really deep sociopolitical context to this film I'm unaware of?"
I would pull up.
But I love that reading.
I can tell from this movie that the Coen brothers are actually conservative.
Actually, this movie is all about communism, so
hell yeah.
obviously.
Actually, there is a great communist joke in this.
There is.
When
great
he's like,
communist
"Oh,
joke.
I'm a communist," and he's like, and he gives him like a code word.
Yeah.
And never mind.
It's sick. It is also a funny film.
Oh, it's a dark comedy.
Yeah,
it's a dark comedy.
It is, and like it's just, man, I love this movie.
So yeah, going back to the interpretation of the movie,
I love that. I love that, and I can totally see it, especially because like that is a consistent theme throughout the film, and I love the fact that the last song he plays in the film is his rendition of the song that they sang together.
Yeah, and it's him almost letting go.
Yeah, it is.
And the whole movie is his journey of letting go.
And I also think that, and that's why I think the ending is particularly powerful, because even when he lets go of his friend, but he doesn't let go like of any part of his personality. He's still who he is, and that is ultimately why he fails. Mm-hmm. And I think that is what's so interesting about the ending of the film.
So I think that cues us into the cat.
The cat.
The big cat in the room.
Which is a great device that earns the kind of a cop-out name towards the end. Because
Ulysses is lost on a journey.
Yeah.
Boom, easy peasy.
Because what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that I think if the cat hadn't been so much of an active part of the film throughout, and it just we lost it in the first act and found it in the third act, and then it was all about and then they were like, oh yeah, his name's Ulysses. It's just that's such a cop out for added meaning, added metaphor. See what the film's really about? But it's cute in enough.
Where's its scrotum?
Great question.
Good line.
Yes, great line. I kind of forgot about it till you mentioned it, but I remember when I was watching it, I definitely want to bring it up, which was The cat that he maims on the road.
Oh yeah. On his road
That
to
is
Dayton,
very,
Ohio.
very metaphorical.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Insert character from
so-
Parasite.
So metaphorical.
So metaphorical. It is, and it's just like, I kind of wish he had killed the cat. I think that would have meant more than just maiming it. But I also think it's interesting because it does kind of clue you into the fact that, like, you know, if the cat is supposed to be a representation of him, then like,
Or there's
Yeah.
two interpretations. It's a representation of his pure self before his partner died. Or it's his partner. Represents his dead partner. Two possible interpretations.
I like both of those.
I like both of them too.
Yes.
But they're not that different overall.
That's a great point.
It's himself before his partner died,
Yeah.
or it's his partner when
Yeah.
he was alive. So you can. It's very similar, but
Yeah.
it's super interesting.
That's a great reading of it. Man, you actually like, if you know, if I wasn't out of 5 stars for this film anyways, this conversation would definitely bump it up to a 5 star.
This element of the film definitely bumps it up, and I picked up on less of that last time I watched it.
Yeah. I think, and this is going to sound so pretentious because we're both film students, but like,
I'm about to shoot you in the face.
this is one of those like films as a film student or just in general that's like,
you know you could write about?
not just that, but like it ages like a fine wine. like when you come back to it, it's just like it does get better and better, and you pick up more and more that you never did the first time. And I think that's by design because I think the Coen brothers want to ease you into like this is like a funny kind of like interesting journey with good music. Like you can just enjoy it. Like as we were talking on the way here, it's a film that you can both sit down and really focus on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a film you can just like toss in the background.
Yeah, I could easily put this on in the background if I wanted to
Yeah.
like work on something else.
Yeah.
Do the laundry.
Yeah, which is great. I want to talk about, because it was interesting when I was watching with not all of my flatmates, but a couple of them, the John Goodman bit.
I hate his haircut so much. I want him to die.
Yeah, it's gross.
It's disgusting.
It is disgusting. But I will say,
That's what your hair looks like when it grows out of its buzz cut.
yes, it does, and I don't like that you just outed me like that, because I also don't like that.
You rewatched American History X and you were like, why not? Let me buzz my hair again.
Oops. I expected. Oh, I'm not gonna say that. That's a little too dodgy to say. You can say that between friends, but yeah. Anyways.
No, don't ever say anything like that ever again. I don't even know what you're gonna say, but never say.
I'll tell you afterwards. It's not that bad, but I
tell me.
don't want to risk it.
I am not liable for anything Ryan has done or will ever do again. This is for the courts. Thank you, Mr. the Judge.
I also extend that, but in regards to Moses,
Wait a minute,
Mr. Llewyn. Gonna
I
keep
am
bringing that up throughout
clean
this podcast.
I am clean as a stray kitty cat in the arms of Oscar Isaac,
Which stray cat?
the one with the testicles.
Ooh, that's the best one. But the John Goodman section, I always find interesting because it seems so out of place, but it also doesn't.
It's
in a
very
weird
out of
way.
place to me.
Like I think he's funny and he has some great lines. Like, why would you kill yourself on the the Manhattan Bridge? If you're gonna kill yourself, jump off the Brooklyn Bridge.
Speaking of bridges, I have a tangent.
I'll go for it. Is this the Tommy Wiseau story?
No, this is about. Oh fuck! I should.
That's also a great story.
Yeah,
I love that.
So I think okay. You're gonna like this because it's about the Dark Knight.
I already love it.
It's weird for how consistent of a director like Christopher Nolan is. Like how much he cares about consistency and like realism. How different Gotham is in each one of the Dark Knight movies.
Yeah.
Because Batman Begins, it's like half CGI, half whatever.
And it looks really grimy.
Really grimy.
Yeah.
Overly grimy. And then the second one is a mix of Chicago and LA. LA.
And it's cleaned up.
Yeah, and it was meant to be heat, but also
fair,
Chicago.
I think that is kind of the point, because the whole point of The Dark Knight is like Harvey Dent and the mayor cleaned up.
I
Gotham.
don't mind it being. Well, you don't have the monorail from the.
It
but it
crashed.
fell down. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you would still have remnants, and the skyline is completely different. But whatever.
A little bit, but it's really the third one.
Third one is New York.
Yeah.
Like blatantly.
It looks so different.
They show the New York bridges basically.
Yeah. I don't know why they reshot. I don't know why they just wouldn't go back to Chicago. Because you could have had the same effect. They have Chicago, like there are bridges in Chicago.
They wanted the New York like island feel. I don't know.
I guess. Yeah.
They wanted it to be an island.
The Dark Knight Rises is one of those films where like it has a lot of problems, but I still do love it.
It's a fun vibe.
I still think it's a very good film.
I think it's funny that the twist that
Marion
the
Cotillard.
no the kid who climbs out of the pit isn't Bane. It's
Yeah.
Marion Cotillard.
That's a
It's
good twist.
It's almost spoiled now for any Zoomer watching it because it's recognizably the kid who climbs out is recognizably
Yes.
Joey King from
Yes.
The Kissing Booth
Yes.
and other films.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah,
Good.
well, it's interesting they picked Joey King at that point in her career already, but she had been in several movies.
Yeah, but they do a good job where like she wasn't really as known. So with the buzz cut, you're like not really 100%
I recognized her
sure.
when I was a kid.
I did not.
She was in movies I watched when I was a kid, so I recognized her.
I only recognized her as I got older, but I agree. And then also just a little
Zoomers hate the movie.
What?
Because they recognize Joey King.
Oh. Also, because I brought it up, and now I kind of want you to tell it because I love this story, which is like the Tommy Wiseau bridge story.
So my second day ever living in London, I saw that the Prince Charles Cinema. I checked their website because I heard it was a good movie theater, and they were like screening of The Room, and I was like, sick, I should go to that. And then it was like with Tommy Wiseau, and I was like, even sicker. Called up Ryan. He said, I'm busy, and so I went to see it without that dough-faced boy sitting across from me. And I got there late, by the way. I missed the part where you could buy his merch and take pictures with him. Because if you buy
Sick.
he has a lot of merch, and if you buy it, you can take a photo with him.
That's how he makes money now.
Yeah, it's but I got there in time for the Q&A section, and someone asked him because like everybody has asked all the same questions to him already. So everybody asked weird questions. So someone asked what he thought of the bridges of San Francisco, because The Room is a San Francisco movie.
Yeah.
And he was like talking about all the bridges, and then he started talking about the Golden Gate Bridge and how everyone jumps off the Golden Gate Bridge, and he laughs about it. I have a video of it on my phone.
He chuckled about it
Yeah,
when you showed me that. It was so
But she's
weird.
like, and everyone jumps off the Golden Gate Bridge. Ha 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 ha. And the room is dead silent.
I'd start cracking up if he did that.
No, that was like the moment where I was like, this is the Tommy Wiseau I've heard about.
Yeah.
This is him.
He like the film is him, like and vice versa, which
I was
is
impressed at that screening of the movie, how like tuned into it some people were. Some people knew exactly when to jump up, go up to the stage and point at like an element of the frame, which was weird.
Yeah.
The timing was impeccable from these people.
People like
I know people see it all the time, but
I love watching that film, but like
their timing was like it felt like this was a comedy set that they had done 30 times.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's where people go to like do that.
Yeah, no, it was impeccable.
Yeah. Sidetrack or back foot pivot to our boy Oscar Isaac
And his butt
and his cat. What did you think about? Because like you mentioned it, but I think it has like a quite important metaphorical significance, which is the inclusion of Bob Dylan, which my flatmates thought was a cheat cameo, which I disagree with.
I think it's not the new age what he could have been.
Yes. He's walking by.
He's walking by like the future of folk music.
Yeah, that he's excluded from.
And it's like the times they are a changing.
Yeah. I think the inclusion of that is subtle.
It's a little bit hokey.
I think it'll only be
they got
hokey.
A pretty good actor to resemble him.
I was gonna say if they had like shown his face or given him a lot of dialogue or whatnot, it's just like
if they
you
had
just
a
see him in the
line where he
background
walks
singing.
up and he's like,
I got a little song to play for you.
Yeah,
folks.
then if it was like that,
then that's hokey. But like I think the way they did it was subtle enough.
Also, he sings a song literally called I think Farewell. So
does he? Let me check that music.
So it's a nice song to close the movie.
Justin Timberlake's also good in this, I thought.
He's not as good as he is in The Social Network.
No. But that scene where him and Adam
Mulligan
Driver
is fantastic.
Yes. She's actually
I want to see that new movie she's in so bad that was delayed. Most Violent what's it called?
A Most Violent Year is the one with Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I got it. I'm Jamie.
Okay, Jamie.
Carrie Mulligan. Yeah, she is very good in this. But although
she has some great angry scenes.
Her performance is great, but like and
you want more from the character?
Yes, because I didn't really get a sense of like really how she felt toward Llewyn.
I thought we had enough. She hates him.
Yeah, but she hates him, but she also doesn't hate him.
She does cheat on her partner and sleep with him.
Yeah, but she also cheats on.
Apparently,
she also slept with the
manager
to get him a spot. So like she cares about him on some level, but then like every other time we see them interact, she just despises him.
Did she? No.
And like, what's their relationship?
I took the vibe that she didn't sleep with the owner for Llewyn. She slept with the owner so that she could get on stage.
Oh,
That was I don't think she slept with the owner for Llewyn.
interesting.
She slept with the owner for herself so that she could perform.
Yeah.
Start performing there.
Oh. Yeah, that's fair. I always can't tell. So I
That
just
would
assume.
complicate the relationship if she did.
But yeah, I guess I wanted a little bit more from her character and to know a little bit more about the dynamics. And it's not a critique. I just would want a bit more between her and Justin Timberlake. What was their relationship like?
I do think that Llewyn's sister, the actress there, don't know her name, but that actor, she is overacting.
It is called the Carey Mulligan film coming out this year is called Promising Young Woman.
A promising young woman. It looks really good.
It does look good. It has Bo Burnham, which I really like, and he's playing a character called Ryan. So
He's you.
Do you like Bo Burnham?
I don't love his comedy, but I love 8th Grade.
That is actually such a good movie.
Great movie. I think it's a perfect encapsulation of the 2018 being a middle schooler in this new digital age from about the age of...
I think it goes beyond that. It has that, but it's also like, I watched it when I was 20 and I was like, I feel like I'm back in middle school.
Yeah,
it's quite universal.
But
very successful at that.
I'm 2 years older than the character in that movie is when I saw it for the first time. No, I was more.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
That movie came out in 2018.
And she's
like 13, 14.
No, she's...
15's high school age. She's not in high school.
No, she's 14.
She's 14.
She's literally 1 week away from graduating middle school.
So she's 14.
She's 14.
Yeah, 4 years is a gap.
No, when I saw it, it was a 3-year gap.
3-year gap.
But when they filmed it, whatever, basically the experience she has, very similar to one I had in terms of the technology and the vibe and the memes. Because it's kids throwing around Harambe memes in that movie. When I was in middle school, I didn't have Harambe memes, but we had our own version of that. And we had Vine, and we also had Snapchat, like she has in the movie.
Yeah.
So I was this is very
Mine was Facebook.
Representative. The year after mine, no one uses Facebook anymore. Everyone younger than me, stopped getting Facebook.
By the time that I got Facebook, 'cause I didn't have social media in middle school. By the time I got Facebook,
I got social media when I was about 12, 13.
I was 15, I think. And my first.
Wow, that's old.
No, sorry, I was 13 or 14 when I got Facebook.
I was 27.
But I didn't get Snapchat till I was almost 16.
Wow.
And Instagram I didn't get till I was almost 17.
I got Snapchat when I was 13, I think. I was cooler than you.
The times.
I get it.
Oh yeah. My bad.
Yeah. Step aside, bitch.
So, sorry, before I interrupted you with Carey Mulligan's new film, what were you saying on the film?
I was just saying that I think the actor who plays Llewyn's sister overacts in her scenes.
Yes.
Slightly.
I'll give you that.
She's doing a heavy New Jersey one in Sopranos.
It's in the scene where he's cursing in front of the kid.
Yeah, and she's like, "What are you doing, Llewyn?
Yeah,
Llewyn, what are you doing?"
Yeah, I heard that Llewyn.
Yeah, you heard it. What are you doing? Don't swear in front of Tony. It's very much.
I think the kid's name was actually Tony.
No way, it was actually.
I think it was actually. I think his kid's name. I think her kid name. Her kid's name was Tony.
Also, let's talk about F. Murray Abraham.
That is I think that is the saddest part of the film.
Yes, but I want to ask you, why do you think they cast him? Because it's no coincidence that the man who played Salieri, is in this.
Because his character is the end all be all of music.
Yeah, for Llewyn.
Yeah,
it's the maestro.
And it's heartbreaking because it's beautiful irony because it's as a solo act, no, but if I can put you with other guys and you will be successful then. But it's just he chooses not to, and it's just, he could be happy without his partner, but he chooses not to, and I think that's so interesting from a character standpoint. But yeah, that's a great scene, and the song. Does he play
The kid's name is Danny, not Tony.
Oh,
close.
Dang it! Imagine it was Tony.
Wait, no way.
Is it actually Tony?
No.
Oh.
Still Danny. You're not gonna believe this. Played by a kid called Jake Ryan, the most white bread name I've ever heard.
Yeah, Two
But
first names.
do you know what else he was in?
I do now.
8th grade.
Was he?
Yep. He's the kid, the friend in 8th grade who she's friends with at the end, who's also a nerd who she meets at the party. Thought the movie ends with them being friends.
Oh, that's right.
It's that kid.
Oh, yeah.
That's Danny. Don't swear in front of Danny.
That really is a good film.
Llewyn, don't swear in front of Danny.
Hey. I realized
Gabagool.
that we didn't do this, and like I guess we're gonna do it on air now. But like,
What are you gonna do to me, Ryan?
we didn't know we kind of didn't discuss what our film for next week is. I don't know if you've thought about that. Yeah. The look on your face is like, oh my god.
I get to pick. So
you pick.
You keep blabbing your mouth.
Yeah, I'll
Well, I check my list.
I'll go on a bit about Llewyn Davis because there is so much to love about this film.
This episode's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean it's the studio energy. I also think that Garrett Hedlund, he was weirdly underused. I think he can be a good actor, but
yeah, he's not much in this.
Yeah, and they dropped that storyline like very quickly. It's really just a plot device that they use some comedy for. I also find it interesting that they used John Goodman again in a story that is related to the Odyssey and Ulysses because John Goodman played the giant, or the version of the giant in Oh Brother Where Art Thou, which is the Coen brothers' allegorical remaking of the Odyssey.
I didn't know that.
Which I've only seen the first half of, and I was in a state, and it was very weird. It was a very strange film. I want to give it another try because a lot of people do love it, but so I find that to be a little quite interesting. I think another scene that I really like is with it's Corporal or it's the army kid basically who crashes at Carey Mulligan's and Justin Timberlake's place.
That little nerd.
Yeah, well, I like when Llewyn wakes up and he's just there eating his cereal.
Yeah, I can't remember what his name is, but it should be Dinkley.
Well, he's going to a place called Fort Dix. Troy Nelson was the name.
Was it the actor or?
No, Troy Nelson is the character.
Okay.
And I found that to be so interesting as well because like when Carey Mulligan and Justin Timberlake go up to perform, he joins them and Llewyn is stuck alone at the table, and it's just like he like the people that already are partnered together as a couple have an extra partner, and yet Llewyn is that alone. So it does emphasize that his own lack of a partner, which is good storytelling.
We get it. It's a sad gabagoo.
Yeah, and it's just like just from like scene to scene, it just works so well. It's such a good film.
It's a very good movie.
I'm trying to think about what else.
I have some notes. Oscar Isaac in this, he's the perfect level of charming and asshole.
Yes.
That it takes to play the role. Because if it was a worse actor, it would just be asshole.
But he's also
which is what you are,
sad.
a bazoonga.
Oh, you got me.
A bazinga.
But also there's a sadness. Like he's light and aloof, but he's also an asshole. But he's also like
so charming.
He's charming, but
what role
so
do you think got in
melancholic.
Star Wars?
Do you think this did?
I don't know, but it came out right around the time he got cast.
It feels like a very different role though.
But he's got like the charmingness of because he's playing a Han Solo type in Star Wars, and he's got the debonair kind of asshole, but also charming. When did they announce the cast list? I don't know.
Oh, no idea.
They announced it in
Llewyn Davis
2013.
Came out.
Probably came out around Oscar season, so.
December of 2013. Which means Star Wars getting made the following year, which means he's probably cast around that time.
Yeah, but it was probably like in discussion before the movie came out, because he was probably in discussion for like 6 months.
Was this his first big film?
No.
What did he do before this?
He was in like a bunch of stuff. Let me look it up.
Let me check. Wait, what were you checking before? You were checking something else.
Movies.
Oh, that's right.
He was in
Oscar Isaac, but or
he was in Drive. He got his first big role was Robin Hood. Apparently, he's Prince John.
He was John, King of England.
And then he was in Sucker Punch, Drive.
That's an awful film. So basically, Robin Hood and Drive.
But then it was inside Llewyn Davis. So it was
He plays.
I'm guessing there was a lot of hype around him for his previous roles, and then there was him starring
No, that was
in.
that was the big one because after Inside Llewyn Davis, he got a Most Violent Year, Ex Machina, and then Star Wars,
Well, no,
then X-Men.
Most Violent Year, he would have filmed before Inside Llewyn Davis came out.
No,
presumably.
Most Violent Year came out a year later, and independent films don't normally take that long.
Well, actually, that's not true. Sometimes if
It
you're on
came
the
out new-
festival circuit, that's not
Yeah.
true at all. Honey Boy was filmed ages before it came out.
When did it premiere then? It was released.
This does not matter.
Yeah. Most Violent Year had its world premiere at the AFI Fest on November 6, 2014. So over a year from when Inside Llewyn Davis was released. So he definitely filmed Inside Llewyn Davis first. That's interesting, though. I didn't know that this was kind of his breakout. Because this was, it's his first central role where he's the main character. Because Robin Hood, Sucker Punch, Drive, none of those are main characters. Like
Do you want to watch
this is
The King of Comedy for next week?
Yeah, sure. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Apparently it's amazing.
All right, guys. Well, that's our film for next week.
We're doing
King of Comedy.
Martin Scorsese.
Which
King of
should be
Comedy.
interesting because sometimes I love Scorsese and other times I think he's
Apparently
bit
it's great. I
overrated.
haven't seen King of Comedy,
I've not.
so I'm very interested in that.
I am, especially because then I will have the full scope of the Joker comparison complete. Even though I think Taxi Driver is a good film, but Joker's better than Taxi Driver.
I don't want to. That is the worst take. Actually, I don't want to do King of Comedy now because it's just going to
I guess it'll lead into that.
No, yeah, I don't want to do that now.
We can set a rule for ourselves where we don't talk about Joker.
No. I'll look into something else. Let's do First Reformed. Paul Schrader, closest to
Oh
Martin
boy,
Scorsese.
that's gonna be interesting.
We're doing First Reformed.
I'm actually very nervous to watch that film.
Is it a masterpiece?
No, because I can easily see it being one of those films where you love and I'm like it was okay, or I could see loving it,
I
but
think you'll love it.
I don't know. I'm interested.
Marty Scorsese.
Marty Scorsese didn't do
Oh fuck! Sorry, I'm tired.
Paul Schrader. My guy, I love. I actually do I like.
Do we love Paul? You've seen his
He's a
Facebook
weird
posts.
guy. He's a strange individual to say the least.
He's a strange individual.
All right, well
to say the
then
least.
that's our film for next week. First Reformed, directed and written by Paul Schrader and starring Ethan Hawke. Do you have any other things to say about Inside Llewyn Davis?
I'm looking. I talked about the cat. I talked about how it's about the Coen brothers.
Mhm.
It's a great winter movie. I talked to you about this before
Yeah.
we recorded.
Yep.
I think
Makes
this
you wanna
is a
cozy
gr-
up.
It makes you want to cozy up, grab a hot chocolate, and like vibe.
Yeah.
You know.
It does.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
It gives you like a nice seasonal feeling.
Yes.
Which you can't say about every movie.
No. I think that the film.
Ooh, First Reformed
That's
is
great.
also a pretty good winter movie. 'Cause it's set in the winter, but it's not cozy like this is.
Let's
It's more
see.
terrifying.
First Reformed.
It's set in the winter times.
It's an hour and 53-minute film that was released in 2000 and
17-18.
this says that that confuses me.
Festival release in 2017. Wide release in 2018.
Amanda Seyfried's in it.
Oh yeah, she's the best supporting role.
Interesting.
She's the supporting role in that.
That's a good little preamble because I've never seen Amanda Seyfried be like that good of a dramatic actress
She's pretty good in this.
before Mank. Well, I mean I haven't seen Mank, but like
Mank.
I expected Mank to be that.
Mank.
I don't know. I've heard glowing things, but I've also heard things from people who should love it and they're like, it's good, but it's not as good as it could be.
I don't want to read too much about it before I see it.
Oh,
So.
for me, it's not one of those films. Like I know exactly what that film's about.
Mank.
So,
Mank.
Let's go.
Mank.
That'll be so exciting. Oh, you won't. When's it come out?
I think December 4th. We'll still be here.
That's soon.
Yeah.
What? No, that can't be right.
Is it December 4th?
Oh.
It gets a theater
Yeah.
release in November.
Yeah.
It was meant to get a theater release here.
Because the first thing that came out was November 20th, and I'm like,
No.
that's next week.
That's if the UK wasn't under lockdown, it would be in the theaters on November 20th.
I'm so excited for that.
But we get it on December 4th. We get to clap our cheeks to the
Oh,
sound
well then
of
that's-
Mank.
If that's hold on, so 1, 2. Oh no!
What?
Wait.
What are you? You're a bad Jamie.
Yeah, sorry. No, it's not that. I was Sorry, I'm just next week is First Reform,
Hell yeah.
and then we were gonna
This is
then
an off-air
we need to,
conversation.
yeah,
Brian.
basically. But I mean yeah. So for the day of Thanksgiving, should we pick a thing? Yeah, I'll pick a Thanksgiving film.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
And
There
then
are
we'll do
Thanksgiving movies, but okay.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, my friend.
Never seen it.
Oh.
I'm not gonna want to watch that.
It's
I don't
good.
Watch that.
It's a really good film.
I don't believe you.
I don't know if I'll pick that, but like, it's a good movie. But yeah, I was just saying because
I'm sure it's fun, but like.
Because we said that we would do
Also,
Citizen Kane the week before
I
Mank.
forgot to mention this. Did you know that the singer, the partner of Llewyn who died, he's voiced by Mumford.
Yep.
Of Mumford,
Of Mumford and Sons. I didn't know that until.
And do you know who he's married to?
Carrie Mulligan?
Yeah.
Yes. What a guess.
Did you know that?
No, what a guess.
You guessed it.
I purely guessed that. Yeah, okay. Well, is there anything else on the film?
I think it's a lot of fun. I'm trying to come up with a tangent.
I mean, I think we can just wrap up the film and then we can do our classic, throw out a recommendation of the week.
Okay, sure.
So just my final thoughts are, I love this film. I think it's it has a lot of metaphorical significance. It's a great character study. It has great music. It's really well shot, really well directed, great performances, and it has an amazing atmosphere and is a vibe of a film. I love it.
It has a good ass score, baby.
Yes, it does. Yes.
Yeah, I really like this movie. I think it tells a great story. I like it when artists make movies about artists.
Yeah.
And like that's why I like Little Women so much, because they changed the.
Oh yeah.
That's a movie.
It is about that.
Instead of being about marriage and shit like that, it's literally about like Joe trying to write her book.
Yeah.
Like, it's wonderful. And so I like seeing that a lot on screen, and I just really, really like the wintry feel of the film, and I like all the little metaphors they sprinkle in.
Yeah.
And I like the reading of it being like about the Coen brothers.
Yeah.
Or just like them being like, yeah, we can't do this without each other.
I like that. I never read into that, but that really
exactly that
makes me love the
film more. There has to be something there.
100%.
Do you have a tangent for us?
No, I just think all I have left to say is I think my weekly recommendation is I think you know what it is. No, you don't. No.
I'm blanking.
I
forgot what you watched this week.
I've watched 2 films that might be like some of my favorite films ever now.
Of course.
So 2 films I saw this week that I absolutely adored. That is Stand By Me, which I'm not going to focus on as much because I hope to do that one day.
Stand By Me.
Which is an
I
unbelievable
saw half
film.
of that once.
So, yeah, my flatmates were like, it was okay, kind of bored, but I was like,
that's the most Ryan movie.
Because I think it is the only coming of age film I've ever seen that understands the nostalgia of childhood.
Boring. You've never seen Tree of Life, which is all about the nostalgia of childhood.
Okay, then I will watch that.
Probably on the podcast. That movie is about the nostalgia of childhood.
Then I will watch that.
That's why it's shot the way it is, and that's why it's incoherent. It's because you can't remember your memories, basically.
That sounds interesting. I will watch that.
It's very long.
But my main recommendation for the week is I've continued my Charlie Kaufman Palooza. I have only his latest new film left, and I watched Anomalisa yesterday, and I thought it was sublime. I think it is an amazing, amazing film. That because Kaufman has gone on record saying that films aren't just visual landscapes; they're soundscapes, and he does some. You make that gesture, but if you saw it, you would be. I think you'd like it more than me.
I'm making the jerk off gestures.
Yeah, but it is an amazing film, and I think a film everyone should watch, even though it's not a film for everyone.
I didn't watch that much new stuff this week, but I did watch. Actually, I'll say it. I've watched 3 episodes of The Queen's Gambit.
Yeah.
It's weirdly flat. Like, there's not a lot of substance to it, which is weird for how much of a hit it seems to be, and how much people like it.
I've seen rave reviews, critics, and
it does all
users.
Like, the character work is really good.
Yeah,
but like there's nothing to it. Like, everything they say is what is as is. There's no hidden meaning behind anything. It's like
It's just pure character.
It's like watching bread.
Oh.
There's not much to it. Like it's weird. Can't describe it. It's really weird. I also rewatched Return of the Jedi, which I haven't seen in a couple of years.
You did?
Yeah, I rewatched it this week.
Oh, nice.
Very good movie. I think, Ryan, what was your favorite Star Wars movie when you were little?
When I was little.
Yeah, not now.
To be honest, probably Revenge of the Sith.
Really?
Because it was a bonkers action sequences,
Yeah.
an amazing score, and like the ending is so like emotional.
Because I find most people say that their favorite when they were little was Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I find that too.
And then they grow out of it. Because
Yeah.
it like pretty objectively has some big problems.
It does.
Like the fact that Leia and Han have nothing to do and have no character arc in the movie.
Han, no. Leia,
What does
yes.
Leia have? Except that she's told that she's force positive, basically. Force sensitive.
Well, she takes on...
Force positive makes it sound like she's got a disease.
It's interesting because it's almost like, at least my reading of it was like, the Ewoks were like surrogate kids for her and Han. Because like they take care of them and she like nurtures them and it's like... they're like...
Very weird and weak and not... Yeah, I don't like
No,
that.
I don't say it's weak. This is my interpretation. It's not...
No, I'm saying if that is what the movie's... If that's the movie's arc...
I don't know.
I'm not saying your interpretation back, but if that is what the film is trying to convey with their story arcs, then I think that's weak.
I really like Return of the Jedi. It is not my top 5 Star Wars films.
It. Oh, it's my number...
I think it's my 6.
My number 4.
I'm just going to check. Really?
It's the two... It's an
my six, yeah.
I don't have a specific order for them, but A New Hope and Empire are respectively 1 and 2.
Yeah, for me it's Empire.
But respectively,
Yeah.
There's actually no order to it. They're just both top 2.
Yeah, that's
top
fine.
1 and top 2.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as those are top 2, it's fine.
Then Last Jedi.
I agree. So we have the same top 3.
And then Return.
Yeah, no. See, I'd go Force Awakens, Rogue One, then Return.
I think Return of the Jedi is better than Force Awakens.
I think Return of the Jedi. The really only thing I actively love about it is the final confrontation between the Emperor,
but dude,
Darth
he
Vader,
has
and
the
Luke.
coolest outfit in that movie.
What I don't like about it, and it bugs
black
me.
suit.
No, it bugs me so much as I rewatch it, is the fact that between like all of a sudden he's a Jedi, done,
Oh, but they had the
and
training.
it's so annoying.
But he just trained. There's a
He never
gap.
went back. He never went back to Yoda in between.
There's a gap
So
in
he-
between. I don't mind at all.
I
thought it's so badass. It's so cool.
It's
when it's like
it's undeserved.
fuck
He's
you.
just there.
Dude, character.
It's not character development.
No, but
They skipped over the character development. He just ended up being there.
Because there was no character development meant to be done. It's all they needed was a workout montage, and you would have been happy. He just trained.
No, you need more than
He
that.
trained. That's all
Yeah,
that
but
happened.
the whole point was he needed to be trained by Yoda, and he
No,
became
but
a
he-
master outside of Yoda. So what was the point of going to Dagobah in the second film?
But he had, but see, it's like saying why go to a gym once and then work out from home.
That's not the same. In the context of that universe, it's not the same.
It is.
I personally have a problem with it, so that makes the beginning of Return of the Jedi to be a little bit problematic for me.
No, it's like saying.
but it gets better as it goes on.
What I mean is,
think
it's
we need
like
to finish
saying,
up.
yeah, it's like saying why train with a sports trainer once, and then do solo shit from solo training.
No, because
You're a fool.
I don't
I'm
think
right.
so.
You're wrong.
That
End of podcast,
I
Reno.
really like Return of the Jedi. It's just that is my number one criticism with it.
Jabba the Hutt's a slimy bitch.
He actually very much so is,
Oh.
but in a good way.
Oh.
So that is our podcast for this week on Inside Llewyn Davis. Llewyn Davis. And our recommendations for this week are, I guess, for Moses to check out Return.
Actually, no. I also watched THX 1138. So check
There you go.
that weirdo movie
Yeah.
out. George Lucas is a freak.
Check out Anomalisa. Kaufman is also a freak. But, you know,
Don't check out Queen's
love him.
Gambit. Actually, do because some people like it. But
I
find it weird.
I might give the first 2 episodes a shot.
I want you to because I wanted. Does
Yeah.
anyone else feel this way? Because it's so hollow.
Yeah.
It's hollow.
I'm interested. But as we close up, Inside Llewyn Davis, fantastic film. I really enjoyed talking about it today with you, Moses. And also, Moses and I have started Euphoria recently, which is an excellent
Yeah.
show. Just want to toss that out. I would love it so far. It's very good.
It's edgy with a capital E.
It is. It is. So, yeah.
This isn't your grandpappy's teens. These kids are popping pills.
They're doing a little bit more than that as well.
Oh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Anyways, that is our episode for this week. Moses, we were talking about next week. What are we talking about?
First Reformed.
There you go.
A movie I've been trying to get you to watch for like 2 years.
Ages. Yep. So I'm interested to watch it, but I also know I'm gonna have to prepare my mind for it.
Because you're about to get Schradered.
Yeah, which I've seen 2 of his films, and they're okay. They're good. I saw one of his first
You
scripts,
saw
the
one of his
Yakuza.
Yakuza films, yeah.
Yeah, which was
You still haven't seen
pretty good.
Mishima.
Nope, I need to see that. And Taxi Driver is a very good film. but
Also,
not
you
a
haven't
masterpiece.
seen Last Temptation of Christ, The Last Temptation of Christ, which he wrote for Marty.
He wrote that.
Yeah, it's another movie about a sad loner, but the sad loner happens to be Jesus.
Interesting.
I like that movie because even though it's very long, it's like 2 hours and 40 minutes. Yeah, it's long,
Oh, nice.
but I really like it because it poses the question. Well, actually, it states Jesus was a coward.
Really?
Yeah, that's what the movie's about. Jesus being a little coward, not wanting to go on that cross.
That's
His
fascinating.
last temptation, what was it?
Sex.
Cowardice or love?
It was definitely sex.
Maybe. The movie does show him having sex, I think. I don't
Really?
remember. Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a good movie. Willem Dafoe, good actor.
Yeah.
He's a Jesus. Also, David Bowie's in it.
He's so good. Willem Dafoe.
David
job.
Bowie is Pontius Pilate, I think.
Interesting choice.
Let me look that up.
Interesting choice.
But yeah, very, very good movie.
Willem Dafoe is absolutely outstanding in The Lighthouse, and I also watched The Witch this week, and I think Robert Eggers is one of the best new directors out of the 2010s. He makes some
Irvin
phenomenal
Kershner
films.
is in Last Temptation of Christ.
That is a extremely strange cast. That is a bonkers cast,
So is Harry Dean Stanton.
and it gets weirder. Literally, all those actors you mentioned are from completely different types of projects.
Harvey Keitel.
And yeah, see, like Harvey Keitel, gangsters, Willem Dafoe, kind of surrealist.
Irvin Kershner, director of Empire Strikes Back.
David Bowie, musician. Dean Stanton. I can't remember his last name.
Harry
Dean Stanton is like an indie kind of.
He's a character actor.
Yeah, it's just that's an eclectic cast if I've ever heard of one.
So that was the show this week.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, we just hope you enjoyed as much as we did. Check out Llewyn Davis if you haven't. Some of the
And
other
First
stuff.
Reformed.
And yes, we will be talking about First Reformed next week.
Schradered. That's what the boys do on the weekend. They
They get
pull
schradered.
out some kegs and get schradered.
Crazy.
Oh yeah.
Boo, yeah. That is it this week for us, guys.
Stay Kino, everybody.
Stay Kino.